Okay, so today we are going to learn Visual Force. So Visual Force is a markup language. Okay, so Visual Force is a markup language. So markup language means it will be having all tags. Okay, there will be start tag and ending tag. Okay, so if you know the HTMLs, that is also markup language, hypertext markup language. Okay, so whatever the browser it is, see this. So this is browser, and even if you go to Google or if you go to any website, if you give right click and see the view page source, okay, the entire thing will be in the HTML and in JavaScript. Only HTML, JavaScript. This is called as client side technologies, or let's say client side markup. Okay, it runs on the client side, okay, not on the server side. So whatever the code you have written, which is in the Visual Force, or say JavaScript, or sorry, it is in Java server pages like JSPs or JSM, whatever the technology you are in, let's say ASP.NET, okay, whatever the technology you are using. So if you write some code, when it is showing in the browser, it will be translated into the HTML. So HTML is the final output in the browser and JavaScript. Okay, that's why whenever you see the view page source, it will be on the tags. See this. There will be two tags, n tag. So A means anchor tag. Okay, img image. Then so div tag. So there are a lot of tags will be there. If you want to learn about this HTML more, so here you can learn about what are the HTML editors, so what are the basic things, what are the different tags will be there. Okay, so tag means like it will be like H1 means header bar. Okay, so my suggestion to you guys is just go through these HTML attributes and go to some tags, how it works, how to set the colors, how to give the hyperlinks, something like this. Okay, so if you go through, it will be helpful for you guys. Okay, now so the same way Visual Force is also a markup language, so which is developed on force.com platform. Okay, so usually you have a lot of components in Salesforce, like page layouts, and then Visual Force pages, then lightning, aura components, we can say, then LWC means lightning web components. These are all view components, like a UI component, how the user interface should be displayed, how the data should be displayed to the end user will be decided by using this page layouts, Visual Force pages, and Aura components, and as well as Lightning Web components. The latest one is Lightning Web components. So Lightning Web components always run on the client side. It will be like a HTML. That's why I'm asking you guys to learn HTML more. Okay, now and as well as you have some business logic to be executed. So workflows, process builders, then triggers. So what are the apex it is? This is completely, the thing is, it is the controller side. It's on the server side. Okay, it runs on the server side, means it is on the some platform. It runs on platform. Okay, so and you have to store some data. You have different options like custom objects, standard objects, then custom settings, then metadata types. Okay, So these are, we have three kind of things. So whatever the data you want to store, you have to use these objects, custom settings, custom metadata. And if you want to process them, then you have workflows, process builders, triggers, and epics. Okay. If you want to display the data to the end user, you have page layers. Okay. So generally, you have all these are like, so Salesforce follows MVC architecture. Okay, MVC architecture. So MVC means model, view, model, view, controller. So model means data, where you are going to store the data. So in our case, objects, custom settings, custom metadata type, or called as model. Okay, so even external objects, whatever you are going to store, custom labels, whatever it is, those are called as meta, so sorry, a model. Model means storing the data, which stores the data is called as model. Okay, view means how the data is going to display to the end user. Page layouts, visual force pages, aura components, lightning web components, all are these are called as view. Then controller, how the data is going to be processed, the workflow, process builder, triggers, and apex. Okay, triggers also part of the apex. Okay, so these are called the model view controller architecture. Okay, so as we have already seen, the controller we have seen, visual force, sorry, workflows, process builders, triggers, apex we have already seen, and data also, the model we have already seen, objects, custom settings, custom metadata types, and view, page layouts we have seen. Now let's discuss the visual force pages. Okay, how to, so when we can go for the visual force pages, as we have the page layouts, the page layouts is used to display the data to the end user, right? So we have different things. Then why do we need the visual force pages? Okay, to customize the functionality. So usually in the page layout, I'll give an example to you. So in the page layout, if you want to hide a field based on the selection of, let's say, if the department is sports or if the department is IT or something, I just need to hide two or three fields. Okay, in that case, what will happen is that is not possible through the page layouts. In this case, we have to go for customization. The customization is nothing but visual force pages or other components or lightning components. Okay, so another thing, search option. Let's say in one page, if you want to search for some account or if you want to search for some contact, okay, and then click on search button, so that is not available in the page layout. Okay, so now you can customize the functionality using your visual force pages. Let's say if you want to import some data using some CSV files, okay, or Excel files, whatever it is. If you want to upload or import the data, so that is not possible through the page layers, right? So then what you can do is you can go ahead and use the visual force pages for that. Okay, these are the some of the examples why we need to go for visual force pages or lightning components or using the LWC, lightning web components. Okay, so let's create very simple visual force page. Here, new visual force page. Okay, my first. When you save this, it will be ended with VFP. Here, if you observe this, this it's a tag. Tag means it starts with less than symbol and ends with greater than symbol. Okay, and then in middle of that there will be something. Here, page is a tag, apex is a namespace. Okay, so apex is a namespace like a folder. In one folder there will be different. Okay, so here when you see this, these are are called as attributes. Attributes means here you can pass some values to these methods. So these attributes. Okay. So we'll discuss on this. Okay. Now here. Okay. So let's say if you want to give some title, my first page. Inside these, you can use any HTML comments, any HTML comments. Okay, if you want to have header, automatically the end tag will be added. Okay. Once you have done like this, now if you want to see the output, how the output will be displayed using this one, click on preview. Displays like this. Hello guys, this is my okay. So H1 to H5. Now, if you want to display some tables, you can use. So there will be table tag, table headers, table data, the different commands, I mean different tabs. Table, the first tab, here table will be started. Here means table row, one row will start. Here TH means table header. Header means row headers, sorry, column headers. And then here TD means table data. So if you want, just use this. Don't have patience to type all. HTML tags will be having like this: HTML, header, style, and inside that also script also will come. Then head, body. Table headers, I mean table rows, and there will be lines also you can add. That we'll see later. Okay. So now how to use the some of the predefined classes. So usually if you want to get some information like user information, what you can do is user info. The same way, if you want to get the information like this, here this is the syntax. So it will be start and end with flower brackets. Then I can add the symbol. So if you want to use user first name, user dot first name. Salesforce. This is first name. Okay. So if you want to have the last name also, here use this. Dollar symbol means that is the standard and the system variables or system classes you are using. Okay. First. else you can use? So if you go to the user object, user object, so you have lot of fields on this. Let's say user object, username, last name, first name, name, company name, citizen, department, title. So all these fields you can add. Okay, so you can add here. You can display here. So that is how you can use the tags, the user information. Okay, so even if you want to get the profile name also, then what you can do is BR means break the lines. It should come into the next line. Okay, so use this profile dot. So if you want to get the profile information also of the current user, then you can use. So here is a system. Even you can access the role information also, role dot name. Okay, so this is how you can use the system variables or system classes into this Visual Force page. Write down this syntax and model view architecture. Okay, so next thing is controllers. Okay, I think you guys understand what is Visual Force. Okay, so it's a markup language and which runs on the force.com platform, and it's used to display the data to the end user. Okay, now let's go and check about the controllers. So there are three kind of controllers mostly. So first one, standard controllers. Extension controllers. Standard set. Okay, so these are the different kind of controllers we have in the Visual Force. Okay, first one, standard controllers. Okay, and so using the standard controllers, let me show that usually on the page layout you have different options, like so you can save a record, you can edit a record, and then if you want to cancel you can cancel it, and you can delete it, right? All these functions, let's say, so when you open, or let's say when you open a record on the page layout, there will be different options, you know that. Those options, if you are clicking on the button like just edit, how it is coming as edit layout, and then when you click on delete, how it is getting deleted from the database. Okay, so those are called standard functions, right? So usually you guys have already seen that when you want to create a record, you have to perform the insert operation. So when you want to edit the record, you should perform update operation. When you want to delete it, you have to delete it. And when you want to undelete, you have to externally say that undelete record, right? So then, even you are not performing any kind of those operations, still you are able to edit the record, delete the record, create the record from the page layouts, right? So by using the standard controls and standard list, okay, standard actions, you are able to perform those actions. By default, page layouts uses the Salesforce standard controllers to perform the DML operations through the page layout. Okay, now the same way how we are going to perform with the um, how we are going to perform the DML operations using the standard controllers with Visual Force page. Let's see how to do that. Okay. First, you have to learn about standard controllers. What are the different so you have to use, these are the methods you have, these are the functions you have in the standard controllers. Save, quick save, edit, delete, cancel, list. Okay, so these are the functions or these are the methods you have in the standard controls. Save, it saves a new record. Quick save, it insert the record into the database or update the record but stay on the same page. Okay, so edit, if you want to edit the record you can edit it, and delete, you can delete the record. Cancel, about the operation. And then list means it returns to the standard list page. Okay, so let's use how we are going to create a simple student record using the Visualforce page. Okay, Visualforce, let's say create student page. You want to use the standard controller. Okay, so why I'm showing this here is you have to learn how to know the different concepts from the Visualforce developer guide. So as we have Apex developer guide, the same way Visualforce developer guide. Okay, you should learn from this one only, you can learn more from it. Okay, so when you want to use this, first you have to mention then if you use the controller, it is the custom controller. Okay, there are different kind of things, extension controller, custom controllers also. I hope we missed it. Okay, here standard controllers and custom controllers also there. Standard controller means what you have to do is you have to mention a standard controller. The standard controller attribute will accept only the a subject name. A subject name means Salesforce object name. It may be custom object, it may be standard object. Let's say if you want to create account, here account will be the name of the controller. If you are talking about student, then student double underscore C. API name of the object. Then what you need to do is want to deal with the database, then you should use form. Okay, when you use form, then what are the different fields we have on the student? Let's say when you want to create a student, it's having student name, then university, department, sports, student email, lot of fields are there, right? Those fields you can use in the same way, whatever the fields you want to use. Here you have to use input field. Here value, there will be another. Here when you use the standard controller, you have to use the object will take this input field like name. Here one text box will be given, let's preview it. See this, here it will come as text box. And now for showing the field value, what you have to use? See here, now it comes like student name column. Okay, so then if whatever the field you want to add, student name, university. Here we are giving externally the label. Otherwise, what you can do is here there is an option called label, like student. Let's say enter student. If I want to give some different text, remove it. Then use so if you want to use different other fields also, like say department, right? Use this. Comes like this. Okay. So after all the fields entered like this, whatever fields you want, you can give here student fee, whatever the things. So the main important thing, whatever it is important, or whatever it is mandatory here, those fields you can add. Okay. Now let's say I have another field called student fee. Comes like this. Now here I'm going to add a button. So usually using the standard control actions, you should use one of these: apex command button, command link, action polar, action support, action function. Okay, so one of these is very much required. Now here let's use command button. Apex colon command button. Okay, so action equals to then use dollar save. So here label also. Actions should come by using this one. So here, whatever the actions you have, save, edit. These actions only should be used here. So let's create one record. Record will be created and it will be redirected to that detail page. Okay, so this is how you have to use this one. Now let's say for one of the, and let me explain here. So rendered. Okay, so if you make it false, then this field will not be displayed on the Visual Force page. Sorry, that field itself will not be displayed. That means that component, whatever the component it will not be displayed on this. Okay, let's say here I'm not going to rendered means whether it has to display or not. That's called rendered. Okay, so here let's say file name not equals to and use dollar. That's very much required. Here if you see this, student fee is displayed so here so if profile name equals to, oh sorry, system administrator. Okay, use this. As the profile name is system administrator, the field is displayed. So if some other user has logged in into the system and is accessing this page, then this field will not be displayed other than the system administrator profile. Now here if you use if system administrator, not system administrator only, if other user should able to access this field, then display. Okay, it's called render. Okay, rendered means if you want to display the field or if you want to hide the field, you have to make it true or false, the conditions. So inside that you can use all the things. And let's say usually when you click on the new button, the page layout is accessible, right? So you can override this default functionality using the Visual Force. How to do this? Let's say go to the buttons here, new, edit. So the new button can be overridden with student page. So if you want to override this, you should use the standard controller. Okay, and extension controller. Now here, let's say refresh, use this. It will go for the Salesforce page. So this is how you have to use the standard controller, and then how to override the button, new button. Okay, standard buttons, how can you override? So if you want to override the standard button, then you should use the standard controller in the Salesforce page. Okay, this is how you have to use the rendered. And there are a lot of other components like page block sections, page block buttons, page block tables, lot of others. Okay, so we will try to learn as much as possible. Okay, note down. So there is another attribute, render as. So usually it is at the page tag level. Render as. Rendered we have already seen whether it is true or false. Okay. Render as means usually if you want to display your page as a visual as a PDF, then you can use this one. Okay, so this is PDF. Render as. Okay, so here render as means if you want to display that, even use, try to learn about this. Render as. Allow format is majorly PDF. If you want to display your entire page as PDF, then you can use this render as. Okay, and then we have seen this. Now another thing is, if you want to cancel, it will be cancelled and redirected to home page directly. That's called cancel. Okay. Now let's have the another controller called. So now you understand the standard controller, right? So if you want to create a record or update a record, you can go for this standard controller. Okay. So mostly the questions around this is, what are the different actions you can perform through the standard controllers? Okay, save, quick save, cancel, edit, list. These are the different methods we can, different actions you can use through the standard controllers. Okay, then what is a custom controller? Let's see another thing called standard list controller first. Okay, so standard list controller means if you want to display all the records in one page, then you can go for the standard list controller. That's like pagination. If you have 1,000 records, 10 records in a page. Okay, so that is called a standard list controller. Okay, so how to use the standard list controller? Mostly different methods we have. First thing, at the page level, you have to use a record set var as the list variable. So list means you have to iterate to display one by one, right? So this is use how to use. So page path table or whatever the table you want, you can use it. Then what are the actions you have? I need the actions. Reading. Okay, here. These actions are important. So save, quick save, list, cancel, first, last, next, and previous. Write down these methods. Standard list controller methods in Visualforce. Save action, quick save action, list action, cancel, first, last, next, and previous. Let's create very simple page here. New Visual Force page. Standard list page. Okay. I'm going to display university. Record set var. Okay. So here let's say like list name. Okay. Then you can use in the table format, then you can use page block table. So if you use a table, usually you have to use the values, right? Items, then list of items into, then you have to iterate one by one. You have to store in single variable, like so for I equals to 10 or something you have to use, right? Let's say the same way values you have to use. Means this list should be iterated. Then where means whatever the variable name you have to use, one university. Now here block table should be inside the page block. Apex. By default, it displays 20 records. Okay, so how many records we had? Buttons, how we are going to